Hey guys, hope you're doing good. So in today's video, I want to show you guys the thesis that I follow to be able to earn this kind of money every single Monday. Last Saturday, I did something pretty special to gift myself for what I built and presented on Saturday. I had to get a new car. I just got a little Range Rover Velar, a little winter beater, right? I love cars. If you're into cars, guys, like, you need to be scaling a business because this habit is a little bit expensive. In July 2020, I quit my job, right? I was working in 9 to 5. It was an e-commerce brand. It was a great company, actually. They scaled to $400 million, almost $500 million a year during COVID. And I ended up just quitting, right? Because I realized that, like, this 30K a year job is actually costing me a 30K a month opportunity. 2 years later, I'm now running clientacquisition.io, which is a business that literally specializes in helping businesses find the right offers, right? We help people find service market fit, and then we help build a client acquisition infrastructure required to produce the kind of revenue that they need to be able to achieve their desired state, right? In order to really be a little bit free, you need to be making at least 50K per month. So we've built this client acquisition infrastructure helping our clients to achieve that kind of revenue, build it within their businesses. The last 2 weeks I spent building this presentation, and I created what I call the $500,000 thesis. It's a thesis that I've personally leveraged in the last year to be able to hit my first 7-figure year. We ended up doing over $2 million in revenue, and we've helped our clients collect and add over 8 figures in new annual recurring revenue, which is pretty insane. I know people who have 10 times the number of customers that we have, number of clients, but they're still not able to help them generate that kind of revenue. It was pretty special. This year is the moment where I realized, like, oh my God, I actually have figured out how to get rich. Not how to get rich fast, not how to get rich now, how to get rich for sure. I realized that, like, there was a framework to follow. So Saturday presented a 4-hour training going over the $500,000 thesis, which is a thesis that I personally am following right now. Left my job in 2020, made 12K with my business during 2020. 2021, we did almost $500,000 in revenue, and 2022 we just I think we're going to end the year at over $2.5 million in revenue, right? And over $2 million in cash collected. The thing that I wanted to share within this presentation is because I wanted people to understand that, like, the difference between me and someone like Sam Ovens, right? Which is, these are, like, Sam Ovens, Hormozy, Iman, and other influencers, who are helping people build online businesses. The difference between me and them is that I'm not selling you onto an opportunity of getting rich. I'm simply showing you the framework and what I'm personally using and the thesis that I'm following to get rich myself, because I don't have millions of dollars, right? So I'm still in the trenches. I'm still on the come up, right? For me, I'm so excited around building businesses and achieving financial freedom that I'm like, why would I just focus on keeping all the knowledge to myself? Right? I believe that the more people who can be financially free, the more people we can go buy cars together, right? The more people who can fly on private jets together, the more trips we can go to Italy, to Spain, to Dubai, to Cape Town, right? I'll need more friends who are more financially free, right? If I'm the only person who got money, do you know how life can be boring if you're the only person who got money? You know what I mean? So my goal, what I did was on Saturday, spent 4 hours, over 335 agencies, and we broke down every single thing. From the offers, I described how the current space of scaling online businesses, whether that be e-commerce, B2B, service-based businesses, how the whole space has changed. And I shared a thesis on how to actually solve and take advantage of this change with by sharing the offers that are going to be needed, the mechanisms that are going to need to be built, right? And also shared how to actually scale and build this client acquisition infrastructure just like we use in our own business, but also that we leverage for our clients. Yeah, I think this is going to be probably one of the best training that you've ever seen in your life, even paid for. I can put 10 grand behind it. I can put 100 grand behind it. If you finish this 4-hour training and you don't feel like you got 6 figures, $500,000 worth of value, please DM me. I'll send you money. Yeah, guys, this is my gift to you guys. I've had an amazing year. I think I've changed my life. Right? I've changed the life of my team members. I have team members right now in Paris, right? I have one of my closers who just flew to Paris. Instead of closing deals, is out there living life, which is I was about to complain, but like, hey, why did you travel? But I ended up realizing that like, this is the problems that we wished for. I'm happy that he's financially free. So I'm like, hey, I'm sorry for complaining because I've created this problem. So I'm really happy. So we won't be sharing the whole training on YouTube because it's 4 hours. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put probably a 1 hour training, which you're about to see in the next few seconds. And if you want the full training, we're going to leave a link below. Find the link below, register, and then watch the whole training. It's free. You don't have anything to pay. I generally believe that this is going to be the thing that changes this whole entire space. You know, I've been able to do a lot without much. The understanding that I have, if it's in the hands of more people, I think we're going to be fine. In 2023, if you don't collect at least $500,000 profit and you've watched this training, then you're choosing to be broke. It's a choice. It's genuinely a choice. I share everything. I didn't leave anything out. I didn't leave like, oh, I want to leave this for a mastermind. No, I don't have masterminds, guys. I generally would hate, I hate selling information. If you ever want to do business with us, it's generally because you need help with implementation and you need to be in the right community, right? I'll do my best to keep sharing the things that's making me rich. The only thing I ask you guys is please leave a comment below of what you found most helpful in this training. Tag me on Instagram, and I'm actually going to pick one winner next week who's going to tag me and leave a comment below, and then I'm going to give away an extra $500, right? It's the Christmas season, so let's give back. Thank you guys so much. Please, 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 you owe it to yourself to go through this whole training. Like when I say you owe it to yourself, I genuinely mean like if you're not doing at least 8 figures a year, this is for you. I spent, 2 weeks building it. It's 4 hours, guys. I don't know many people doing webinars. 4 hours, right? Bangers after bangers. You can see for yourself if you keep watching. Thank you guys. Have an amazing day and enjoy. Yeah, there's a lot of people. Wow. All right, cool. My goal today is to do something that, so previously for all the webinars that I've done, I've made them mostly going over things like, oh, I see something that's working really well for our clients. And then I would come on here and just break down everything that we've been doing, right? But what I've realized is that, I think that in order to scale a company really fast, you kind of like can't just focus on the tactics. You've got to have a thesis that runs, you got to have like a worldview that runs the way you run your business, right? You got to have one single belief. You got to have, just like Jeff Bezos in 1994 when he started Amazon, or in 1999 when he started it, he had a vision of how things should be and how things would become. And that's the thing that led him to go, multiple decades while pursuing a mission, right? So in today's training, what I'd like to do is I'd like to share with you guys the way that I think that companies should be scaled online. And with that thesis is going to allow you guys to be able to not only scale your businesses, but be able to offer better things to the marketplace. Okay. So this thesis is literally going to be the thing that guides everyone's decision, who, at least if you want to use it. Okay. But before we get started, I just want to let you guys know that we're going to have a Q&A session after I get done with this presentation. It's going to be a long one. So if you guys have things to do, please just put it on your phone, put headphones on, and go on about your things on Saturday. But I highly suggest everyone stays till the end, okay? And also, if you guys want to receive access to this training that I'm about to be sharing, I always like to ask for this little favor for everyone who joins Webbies, is if you can just take a story picture and tag me on Instagram, and so that I can just reshare it. I need like 100 tags. I need probably 1 million tags would be better, but I'm gonna settle for 100. And I think this should be pretty cool. But yeah, I need to also make one. So 1 second. All right. Beautiful, beautiful. There is also a big announcement at the end of the presentation for everyone who has wanted to work with clientacquisition.io. If you guys have been on a call with my team, if you guys haven't yet to get on a call with my team, my goal is to give you more value than I can, as much value as I can legally give you. And if you want more support from our team, then stay till the end, because we'll have something pretty special for y'all. If you have questions, put them in the chat. We will be putting them on like a page, and then we'll look at them afterwards. So make sure you have all your questions written so that we don't miss them. But yeah, who's fucking excited? If you're excited, just say hell yeah in the chat. Hell yeah. I love it. I love it. To be honest, I feel like we should do this at like 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. while drinking wine, so we can be more fired up. All right, cool. So let's get started. Let's get this bad boy started. So 231, Bell, can you send another email to our list and be like, hey, we're getting started right now. You can't afford not to be here. All right, cool. So let's get this thing started. So today's presentation is really simple. Essentially, I'm going to walk you guys how to clear $500,000 or more in 2023 as a service provider online by leveraging insights that we've gathered to generate millions of dollars in 2022, right? So for those who don't know me, my name is Serge Gatari. I run clientacquisition.io, the only company you should really care to know about. But yeah, so in the last 12 months, in the last few months, or this year, we've generated $2 million, a few six figures also on Stripe, PayPal, on other payment methods like Wise or PayPal and things like that. So this is my first year to make $1 million in a single year. But I thought that making 1 million isn't enough, so I had to add another one. So my goal is to share with you guys how I've personally done it, and how I was thinking about, when I was going about doing it, right? If you guys can see, the year before we did 368 grand. So it's like this year I learned something new. And I think that something is the reason why we've been able to scale as fast, okay? What I need from you is really simple. Pay attention, pay me attention. That's the only price everyone has to pay. Turn off your phone, DM your parents that today's the day that they will decide, how soon they can retire, and block your girlfriend or your wife or your boyfriend or husband for the next 2 hours. If you have kids, to be honest, invite them in case you don't pull off what I'm about to share with you guys. Maybe they'll be able to take the lead. You know what I mean? So let's make sure that we mitigate the risk of not, because I know some people on this call will listen everything and understand everything, but still won't do anything with it. So maybe our kids are the future, even though I don't have kids, but I would bet on my kids if I had them. Anyway, the second thing I want to ask you guys is commit to implementing what I'll share, right? I've worked with hundreds of people just like me who have the desire to start and scale a business, and others who are already making good money, multiple 6 figures a year, even 7 figures a year. And the thing that breaks my heart is seeing them a year later, stuck in the same place, in love with their problems, clinging on to them as if their definition of success was struggling with those problems, okay? Whatever I share today, I need you to implement and take action on them, right? A year from now, I want to see you proud of yourself because you did something that you never thought you were capable of doing, right? My goal for the next 60, 90 minutes is to give you the knowledge, the clarity, the systems and processes that we've leveraged to create over 8 figures in deals for our clients, and also use it to collect multiple 7 figures in 2022. Okay. For those who don't know, my story is, it's a classic, right? I was still in college, or, the year before I dropped out of college for a sales job, door to door, and ended up quitting that because that was not sustainable, right? One thing that I want you guys to understand is that if you're doing something, even if it has the potential to make you a lot of money, but you can't sustain it for years, quit now. Because you guys will see a lot of people, and this is actually an important topic. I see so many people are like, oh, you should get into sales. Oh, you should become a doctor, or hey, you should do this because it pays well. Well, the truth is that if you can't do that thing for many, many years, you will never really be well paid, right? So what I've understood is that if I can't do something forever, I'd rather not do it. So when I was out there door knocking, right, a friend of mine made 60 G's for like a summer. So I was like, wow, that's a lot of money, right? But then
I realized the only reason why he made that kind of money is because he did it for so long. And that's the only thing he's committed his life to doing, right? For me, I wasn't committed to doing it forever. So I wasn't willing to do door to door forever. So I just quit, right? And then after I quit, I went and got multiple 9 to 5s, right? I was working jobs. It was amazing. I was learning a lot, customer service, a bunch of stuff, everything, right? But in 2019, I had, this burning desire of starting a business, right? I used to write it down every day for months straight while I was working at my 9 to 5. You guys can see here. I think this was probably when I was 20 years old. So I think it was in 2019. I was saying that, hey, online business owner, say my passive income. That's a lie. That's stupid. No passive income exists. Online business income that doesn't depend on my time before 21 years old. I will have an online business before I'm 21 years old. I promise it to myself. That's a big fact. I'll lose everything and invest everything to achieve this goal, right? So I was writing this when I was 20. I think it was close to my birthday. And as I was writing this, right, I needed to start taking different actions because I couldn't just be in my notebook writing down things like, oh, I want to start $1 million business, or I want to start a 6-figure business, and my actions didn't, they had to meet my desires, right? So then what I started doing is I started using every dollar that I was making from my 9 to 5 to invest in courses, Amazon FBA, Airbnb stuff, drop shipping, agency model, consulting model, right? All these courses. And from November 2019, which is when I started buying courses, till September 2020, I didn't sign any real clients, right? I blamed this loss of time to the fact that I was my own worst enemy, right? I had access to all the knowledge, but somehow was still struggling to take action or failing at building infrastructures that could take the action for me, right? June 26th to 2020, I was tired of being, sorry, I'm going to be cursing a little bit in this training. So if you don't mind, I was tired of being a little bitch, essentially, that keeps on claiming that he deserved more, but whose actions didn't match his desires, right? Therefore, it's on the 26th of 2 years ago that I just sent in my resignation letter. The company I was working for, it's an e-commerce company, Good Food. This was in the basement of my dad's place. I had bought this chair, this desk. I was ready. That Porsche there, it cost $250,000. So it's like it would have taken me a decade to even make the kind of money to even to afford such a car, right? So 45 days after quitting, I signed my first client, who came from the efforts of a $3 an hour V8 that was doing outreach for me on LinkedIn. And this client wired me 4.3K, right? It was, I quoted him $1,600 a month, or 1,650 or 1,700, but he ended up paying 3 months up front with a 10% discount or 15%, I don't remember. And no amount of money has ever made me feel as happy and as accomplished as this $4,000 PayPal transfer, right? Because I had spent so many years, guys, like just trying to make anything work, right? And this $4,000 was the proof of concept hit me so hard that I was like, oh my God. And I think that my success today started here. It's on this date, right? I think it was, I don't know, it was sometime in September. I knew that I could do it, right? I just had the belief, because I had literally gotten someone, a VA, to send a bunch of messages on LinkedIn, get a stranger on a call, talk to this stranger, walk him through a specific sales script, sales process, and get that human to send me his hard-earned money. Like, a lot of you guys don't ever take time to really understand how valuable the skills we acquire online are. But imagine you have the ability to send messages, to get someone on a call, walk that person through a specific process, and get that person to send you money before you even do anything. There's nothing that comes close. The only, like, guys, like, if you really want to think about it, we're magicians. We literally make money out of like nothing, right? So if you're good at any of the steps required in collecting capital online, you're really special. So please value your skill. Okay. But yeah, so January 2020 though, I decided that I would stop my advertising agency because this client who paid me, he didn't have budget for ads, even though I sold him on advertising and video sales letter funnels, right? So what I decided to do is I started doing appointment setting for him. And after I did it for a while, for a few months, I was like, you know what? Why don't I sell appointment setting since, you know, a lot of people can't afford not to have appointments, right? So in 2020, January 2021, that's when I hit my first 10K month. July 2022, I founded clientacquisition.io and launched the $500,000 program. But I realized, because I realized that we dreamers needed help. Everyone is stuck selling us more dreams and more opportunity vehicles. But what we need is guaranteed inputs, right? The right inputs will give you the right outcome, okay? The offer resonated so well that in the first month of launching the program, we generated 70K in revenue. 2021, I did a little bit less than 500K. Not bad for the first full year of business. 2022, I think we'll end this year at 2.5 million. And our monthly run rate is at, I think, 500K. So I think we've collected almost like 270K this month. We have some time left. So I think we're going to hit, I think we could hit 500K. I think we will hit 500K, right? So I've gone from being the guy quitting his 30K year job because he believed that it was costing him 30K a month to making more money than people who taught me how to build and scale businesses online in the last 24 months, okay? With all these achievements though, nothing has changed. Like I still am in the same apartment I lived in when I moved, when I was making 30K a month. You know, I still eat the same thing. I still don't have a Richard Mille or a Patek or a Rolex. My clothes are due though. But that's another story we can talk about. But the only thing that has changed though is we like to take trips and like to rent expensive villas, right? So we went to Spain this last summer, or this summer in July or August, I don't remember. Yeah, we had the team, we had clients having fun. His 18-year-old, he was having fun, rented this yacht, had dinner together. It was just a beautiful time, right? A little bit Ferraris, and then we went to Italy to take a break from Spain with my team, and we went there to try to take a break from all the craziness, but we ended up drinking a lot of wine, so that didn't really help. The only thing else though that I like is I like cars. So I needed winter tires, but I ended up getting a new car for winter. So that's also something that has changed. That's the only thing we splurge on. We buy new cars instead of buying winter tires. But anyway, everything I'll be sharing in this training isn't something that many people on my level are or should be sharing, because the more people who understand the rules of the game, the more competition there is, right? Most experts, and you guys will probably have noticed this, but they will try to lead you down the path that creates the least competition for them, or the path that gives them the least responsibility when it comes to your failure, okay? You will see everyone out there telling you, hey, start this, start that, start this, follow this action plan, but they'll be doing it in a way that if you were to fail, the blame isn't on them, right? For me, it's a little different. I like to tell you how I'm going to play the game, and you can copy me or you can decide to follow your own script, right? Most of my understanding of business comes from real business builders and people who make money from betting and investing in businesses. I try not to learn from YouTubers. I'm trying to learn from the owners of YouTube, right? I saw this yesterday or 2 days ago, which was the daily revenue for these companies. And Amazon did in 2021 on average $1.3 billion a day. I mean, I can't even put this into context. I just am sad when I see this because of how much work we have to do, right? The next big company is Apple, 900 million a day, 186 million a day for Tesla. So guys, like, I'm not necessarily saying that you guys need to aim for this, but the beautiful thing is that if you guys learn from the decisions that these guys made, you, even if you did 100th or 1,000th of what they've done, you will be so well that like you might be remembered for a few lifetimes, at least by the people who you've helped. Okay. Implementing everything I'll be sharing for clients has given us some of the best transformations in such a short time. We've had Justin Lalonde, who joined the program, went from 35K to 75K a month in e-com. Omar went from nothing to 60K a month in 7 weeks, also helping brands. Francesco launched and scaled 2 offers from 0 to multiple 6 figures in less than 6 months. He did e-com and also appointment setting. Nick Roach, 0 to 100K in sales in 45 days, helping the SaaS niche. Lashazar went from 6K per month to 50K per month in 4 months in e-com. Rasmus went from 18 to 20K a month to 35K a month in 30 days, also in e-com. Whatever you're trying to achieve, we've done it and we've seen it happen. This training was created from the perspective of someone who's seen many people go from nothing to something hundreds of times. Okay, so please pay attention to what I'll be sharing with you guys. Okay. My goal with today's training is to show every single attendee the easiest path to clearing $500,000 profit or more by leveraging my new $500,000 thesis around scaling businesses and the client acquisition infrastructure responsible for eradicating the following problems: the lack of service market fit, the epidemic or empty calendars, right? This is probably the biggest pain that everyone faces, empty calendars. Grant Cardone says that if you have an empty calendar, if you have a few days where you don't have anything to do, he says that you will meet the devil, right? And when I first heard that, I wasn't really running a business, but when I started running my agency and consulting business, I knew what he meant, because I'm sure you guys have felt the doubt that starts creeping in when your calendar is empty, right? You start feeling like, oh my God, am I meant for this? Is this the right offer? Is this the right niche? Should I start pushing something else, right? All this stuff, right? That's what it means meeting the devil, right? And then the other thing is, the lack of inspired leaders, since they have to work 10 times harder to achieve something that can be achieved at a 9 to 5, right? If right now you're not making at least $500,000 a year, why are you building a business? Why don't you just go get a job? A lot of you guys don't realize this, but like, guys, there are jobs out there where you can make a lot of money. You don't need to build a business. My mentality is that if you're going to build a business, at least get rich while doing it. Do not just get okay money, just like you would if you were at a 9 to 5. Okay. My goal is financial freedom, AKA fuck you money. That's the goal here, right? If your goal is to get rich slow, this isn't for you. That simple. Right? If you owe it to yourself to start living and enjoying this, living life and enjoying this short life by the end of next year with your loved ones, then I hope that by the end of this webinar, I've given you enough value to allow yourself to and your loved ones to start living. I'm optimizing for living life. I'm not optimizing for money. I could care less about money, but the thing is, we need money to live. Okay. So let's get into it. So lesson 1 or lesson 0, really. I sent an email the other day about this, right? I said that the higher your sense of urgency, the faster you're going to start winning and living. If you lack urgency, everything I'll share here will be useless, right? If you look at anyone that you look up to, if you look at what actually created their success, or what was the effect, the cause, the root cause of like what really made them take things to the next level, it was because they had no choice, right? I had to quit my job to scale my business. I knew that I could hire a VA when I was still working a job. I knew I could create content when I was still working a job. I knew that I could leverage LinkedIn. I knew I could leverage Facebook. I knew I could leverage all these channels, but guess what? It's only when I only had the choice, when I had my back against the wall to make it work, that I made it work. You can look at Grant Cardone. You can look at Hormozi. You can look at Iman. You can look at Sam Ovens. You can look at every single person. Their story starts with something where they're like, hey, I don't really have any other option, right? Now, do you necessarily need to go to that place to get the sense of urgency? No, you can make it up in your own mind, right? But one strategy that I've noticed that's really helpful is to pick your top goal, right? It could be making 50K per month. It could be making $500,000 per month. It could be making $1 million per month, okay? What I want you to do is I want you to block the first 2 hours of your day every single day, right? If you're lazy, then do it 6 days a week. But what I want you to do is I want you to allocate it to the most important task that you could do that gets you the closest to what you need to be doing every single day, okay? Every single day. 2 hours of your day is focused on your top goal. If it's 50K per month, then figure out the activities you need to be doing and do them every single day for 2 hours and 2 hours only, right? Work towards your main goal every single day. These 2 hours should only be used to get toward your desired outcome. No morning routine, no breakfast, no Instagram, no team meetings, no client calls, nothing. If your mother calls you, hey mom, sorry, busy. I'm trying to make sure that we're good for life, right? If your brother calls you, hey, block everyone, right? That first 2 hours of your day, it's only towards the most important thing in your life. And that is achieving your goal so you can start living, right? It's strictly selfish time, right? I do this, right? I'll try to show you guys, can show you guys what mine look like, right? Every single day I have this thing, right? Most important goal, leverage deliverables, right? So my goal is to scale client acquisition that I past $10 million a year. And for those who don't know, our main program, it takes a lot of effort, right? It takes a lot of deliverables. It's not a lot. It's like, we do a lot for our clients. So it's not scalable to like 8 figures or more, right? So I need to build other products that are leveraged. So guess what? Every single day, I work on one thing and one thing only. Hey, Serge, how do we fucking make $10 million a year? How do we make 20 million? And I work on it every single day. Okay. Rule number 1, urgency. I'm working on how to make $10 million every single morning. What are you working on every day? Right? Maybe some of you guys don't even know what's your top priority. What is your top goal? Can someone write top goal in the chat, please? I want to see what are some of your top goals. Just put a figure. Just put 100K a month, 50K a month, 4 million by 25, 1 mil per month. Oh, 50K, 250K a month, 10 million a year. Okay, that's a lot of money. I don't think I can count it. I'll just, okay, it's good, guys. It's good. No more, but it's a lot of money. We don't, the IRS or the Canadian agency is gonna, the CRA is gonna come and read this chats and they're gonna come look for us. So let's not tell them about how much money we make. So yeah, guys, if you can do one thing, please do this. I think it's gonna change your life. Okay. Now the next thing is my secret to success. This is something that has, that's gonna change your lives. And it's called pre-mortems, right? 4 or 5 months ago, I was listening to this podcast. It's called, I've shouted it out a lot of times. It's called Knowledge Project. And it had this lady called Amy Duke, a professional poker player and author in cognitive behavior, decision science, and decision education, right? She wrote a great book that I recommend reading, which is called Thinking in Bets, Making Smarter Decisions When You Don't Have All the Facts, right? Her life is dedicated to studying and building frameworks around one simple thing, making the best decisions, right? Decisions that have the highest probability of resulting in success. During the podcast, she shared something that has allowed me to believe that I'm guaranteed to be successful in any endeavor that I take on, right? And that one thing was pre-mortems, right? Today, I'd like to share it with you, but most importantly, I actually want to use it to know how you can guarantee yourself to have a successful and business life, right? And it's actually also going to help us figure out the topics for this training. That's what I use to figure out, right? So a lot of you guys have probably heard a lot when you guys have probably, a lot of people are like, oh, a lot of people normally when they're setting goals, they're like, hey, figure out how to get to 100K per month and then reverse engineer how to get there, right? So let's say, oh, we need to get to 100K per month. We need, let's say 200 sales calls or 100 sales calls. Maybe we need, 500 warm leads a month. And then from there, we need maybe 5 appointment setters, right? A lot of people like to reverse engineer success, right? But how many people here know how to get to 100K per month or 25K per month? Or how many people actually know how to get to their goal? Like, if you were to sit down, if I was to ask you, like, hey, you want to make 100K per month. Let's say you're stuck at 10K per month, right? And I ask you, how do you get to 100K per month? Who here thinks that they could come up with the answer? Say yes. Like, who knows a path to getting to 100K per month? You would just need to 10x your inputs, right? To 10x what you're already doing, right? Pretty straightforward. Perfect. So why aren't you guys at 100K per month? Can someone please tell me that? We all know the answer. Like, why? Why aren't we all millionaires? We lazy, urgency, not working enough. Yeah, well, we're all lazy. I mean, but laziness is not really an excuse, right? Let me tell you guys why you guys are not making 100K per month, right? The reason why you guys are not making 100K per month is because you don't know everything that would keep you from not hitting 100K per month. You know how to get to 100K per month, but you do not know what keeps you from not getting to 100K per month. Okay, so what these pre-mortems are, so I'll just explain it. Pre-mortems is, imagine, instead of imagining success, you imagine failure. And then you work backwards from that failure. So as an example, you ask yourself, instead of asking yourself, hey, how do I get to 100K per month and reverse engineering that? Instead, ask yourself, hey, I failed to get 100K per month. What happened? And then you make a list of every single choice, action that created this outcome of failure. And what you want to do is, once you have a list of failures or actions and choices that led you to not getting to 100K per month, which, by the way, everyone here who's not making 6 figures a month profit is making every day. You're making dumb choices. You're taking dumb actions or not taking enough actions, right? And you're not where you need to be. Once you know what everything that keeps you from not getting there, then you come up with a plan to mitigate the risk. Or for me, what I like to say is, I generally just remove the risk, right? After learning about this process, I decided to make it a habit for me and my team to schedule 2 hours every quarter for a pre-mortem. And in today's webinar, I thought it would be smart to use it to figure out the topics I needed to cover in order to help you guys scale your companies, right? So this is how it would work. So step 1, let's figure out how to guarantee failure, right? And this is just going to be a generalized thing. It's not going to be specific to a revenue goal, right? But if I was trying to fail, right, this is how I would do it. I would not know what the market wants, right? I would not understand why the market wants what it wants, right? So first thing, if you don't know what the market wants, you're not going to be able to create a good service. If you don't know why they don't want it, if you don't know why they want it, then you're not going to be able to sell them, because sales happens when you have understanding of why someone wants something, right? The third way of guaranteeing failure is not knowing how to find prospects, right? Most importantly, qualified prospects at scale, right? If you don't know how to find the people who have the thing you have to sell, then who are you going to sell it to, right? Not knowing and having a proven sales process to convert them into clients is also going to guarantee you failure. Not having a growth team is a sure way to fail in life, right? And not knowing how to fulfill and keep your clients happy. That's also a few ways to scale, right? And then once you figure out how to guarantee failure, then the beautiful thing is that step 1 inevitably leads us to get as close as possible to guaranteeing success, since we can build systems that help us mitigate or potentially remove the risk of failure, right? So first things first, what will the market want and why will they want it, right? So so the way that I'm going to cover this is, we're going to cover every single thing here. This presentation is going to be going over all these points, right? So we figured out how to fail. Now let me try to explain to you guys how to actually avoid failure, okay? So my new thesis, right? This is the $500,000 scaling process, right? When I first got into the online space, the only way people were being taught to scale companies was through paid advertising. Paid advertising was like the key to unlocking immense wealth, and everyone, everyone started advertising on Facebook, right? Who here has advertised on Facebook? Who here has, in the past, like who here has ever spent a little bit of money on ads or learned about advertising? A lot of people, right? People were spending $1 to make $10 back like clockwork. You could not even understand paid advertising and you could still make a positive return with your ad spend, right? Today, things have changed. Everyone is struggling to keep making sense of advertising to sell their products or courses, whether it be for e-com space or B2B space. The only people that keep making sense of spending tons of capital on advertising are people who have products and services that cost 25 grand or more, right? People are looking for the new way of scaling companies profitably, a scaling process that is sustainable, right? Why are they doing that? Because the goal isn't to get rich now. The goal is to get rich for sure, right? It's completely different. Getting rich now is easy. I could sell someone $10 product and sell it to 1,000 people and I could make money, right? I could sell $1,000 course and I could make money, right? But how do I get rich for sure? It's by leveraging what I'm about to share with you guys, right? After observing this market shift, I've come up with a new thesis on how to scale companies in 2023, and I'd like to present it to you guys. This is based on my own results. In the last 77 days, we've collected, like over almost $1 million, to be honest. And we've probably spent 8 grand on ads. And we only spend it like, for like a month, right? But most importantly, these insights come from the results I've seen in the program. Seeing 5 to 10 clients of mine generate over $5 million in new annual recurring revenue in less than 46 months. I've never seen this before, right? This year was the first year that I was like, what the hell is going on, right? Like I was impressed by the success of clients, even if like, I was like, oh, I don't even know what's happening here, right? So everything that I'm going to be sharing is going to be based on like either my wins, my success, or our client success, right? So this is the old way of scaling companies, right? Anybody could get it in the ads manager, throw out some shitty ads and get a positive return. Therefore, every other wannabe entrepreneur and marketer decided to throw up some ads and expect a return. Hundreds of thousands of agencies were created, all offering the same promise. Hey, I helped X niche scale past 6 and 7 figures with Facebook ads, right? The beautiful thing is though, lately I haven't seen anyone with this in their bio. So thank God the times are changing. God is good. God has helped us change something, do something good for society. There's no more helping niche scale. But some of them didn't know how to get in the ads manager, right? You could have people with this in their bio and still not know how to get in the ads manager. Like that's how bad this space has become, right? And another thing is Hormozi was making millions, Iman was making millions, Sam Ovens was making millions, all because it was affordable to get your message in front of the right audience, right? Who here has seen Iman's ads anymore? There are nowhere to be found. The only time he advertises is when he has his, little 5-day challenges, right? But Sam Ovens, no more advertising. Hormozi, no more advertising. Why do you guys think they're not advertising anymore, guys? Do you think it's because they don't have money to spend? Right? But anyway, I'll come back to that shortly. Then iOS 14 came. The problem with attributions, right, came. And the rise of CPMs followed, right? Now we don't see much advertising from these characters. All we see is TikToks, YouTube videos, and podcasts. That's literally it, right? And has anybody ever asked themselves why Hormozi, who claims to have had a 36 return on every dollar he spent on advertising, why do you guys think he decided to become an influencer? I need answers in the chat. Why in the world would you have the ability to turn $1 into $36, which is similar to turning water into wine like Jesus did, decide to stop using the ability that ability or that mechanism? Can someone tell me? Someone just give me an answer. I just want to see where you guys are at. Because he owns the audience. Oh, Pablo is smart. Pablo, are you in the program? Pablo, you're in the program, aren't you? Pablo might be smart. Own audience for life, leveraging media, leverage audience, easy money, famous and efficient business model to get rich for sure. That's right. The build an audience, attention, power of audience. Okay, person. Okay. Okay, you guys get it. You guys get it. All right, cool. Let's get back to it. I love it. So check this out. Easy answer. This gets you rich now, but it doesn't get you rich for sure, right? But let me explain using my new thesis. This will eventually make me and everyone watching this training a lot of millions, right? So let's get into this $500,000 thesis. Using the word thesis, it makes me feel like I'm a professor in college. Should I go to Harvard and teach stuff? I don't think they allow cursing. But anyway, so guys, let's check this out. So this is what I was saying. The old strategy of scaling companies, right, is, hey, let's just get on Facebook ad, right? Let's put up a little banger VSL page. Let's put up a little product page if it's e-com, and then let's just drive a lot of traffic to that page. Let's make sales. Let's use that capital to spend more money on ads, right? But what happens is the more people who got rich from this mechanism, the more people wanted to get rich with this mechanism, right? So what ended up happening is that there were more advertisers and more advertisers and more advertisers. And then what ends up happening though, with all the changes in the platforms, ads became more expensive. Landing pages became, started performing less because everybody's so used to these VSL pages anymore, to these VSL funnels, right? And then what ends up happening is, if it's costing you more to get impressions, if you're converting less, then that means that you're making less profits, right? But the truth is that people didn't know any better. So they're going to still keep spending money on ads, even if they're making less. They'll keep spending more to chase the same returns, right? So as you guys can see, can you get rich from this? Of course, you can make money, but can you make money forever and get rich for sure? Not as it was before, right? So this is how I personally think the new way of scaling companies or any offers will work, at least to do it in a sustainable way, right? Rule number one, acquiring attention for free. Okay. Everyone here needs to optimize the ability to acquire attention for free. And how do you do that? Give your niche what they want. That's what Hormozi did. He went and built a $40 million company and then literally gave away everything he spent hundreds, millions of dollars learning. And who wouldn't want to learn something that has allowed someone else to make 40 million, right? He wrote a book, sold it for free or 99 cents, created YouTube channels, YouTube videos every day. He's a YouTuber, he's a TikToker, he's everything. He's more of an influencer than Mr. Beast is, right? Or you can be like Andrew Tate and literally just say some crazy stuff just to go viral, right? Attention is key here, right? Or you can also pay for attention. You can still leverage ads, right? But you're not leveraging ads to convert someone. Instead, you're leveraging ads to get awareness, okay? But check this out. Once you have the attention, the goal is to acquire 1 million users as fast as possible, right? Get 1 million users, leads, subscribers, or views as fast as possible. Again, this is important. You're not trying to get customers or clients from these views. Instead, you're just trying to get educated people that you've served, people that you've given value to, okay? Once you have acquired users or viewers, what you want to do is you want to create your own platform. You want to own the traffic. You want to build an asset, okay? And how do you do that? You take these views, you take these users, and you bring them into your own Facebook group, into your own Discord, into your own whatever, Telegram group. I don't really care where, but I need you to move people away from someone else's platform. And I want you to own that attention, okay? Once you have and you own this attention, then and only then should you monetize it, Okay? Then and only then should you monetize it. This is the playbook now. Get attention, get a lot of it, convert that attention into an asset that you own, and monetize it. Okay? Because eventually what ends up happening is you won't need these platforms anymore, right? Eventually it will just be a loop of you have your traffic, you own it, you own the eyeballs, you monetize it, a little call to action, boom, you just make money. Whenever you want to make $1 million, like whenever Iman want to make some millions, he doesn't go to Facebook and be like, hey, Facebook, here's 100 grand a day on ads. No. He has 1 million subs on YouTube. He just puts up a little call to action, which could be his digital renaissance thing or whatever he wants. And he'll make millions of dollars on a weekend, right? By the way, guys, I'll come back to these other things, but just bear with me, right? So the process is every business owner needs to follow Google's playbook or any big tech company's playbook, right? You give away the farm. As an example, let's use Google as an example. Google gave away Google search for free, aka the answer to all known knowledge. They gave access with a few clicks to all known knowledge for free, guys. Do you know how much money they could have made if they monetize it? A lot. But why do you guys think they didn't monetize it? Because they wanted to acquire the user more than the money. Attention matters more than the short-term money you can make from selling a little fucking course, right? The reason why I'm here giving you guys this training is because I have 300 people on this call, right? Anyway, we can go over that later then, right? Because what they want is you give away the most valuable thing that you can give away. And then people pay attention to you. And then once you get the users, once you get the attention, you own them, right? And then and only then shall you monetize, right? Most direct response marketers were never taught the value of owning the traffic they marketed to, right? Because all their little mind could see was the 5x return on investment. And they get excited, not realizing that the ROI could eventually be infinite if they owned the user's attention, right? I think I said this, I tweeted this a few days ago, but I said, how much money do you think Facebook made from selling your attention, right? How much money do you think Facebook makes from serving us all these ads, right? What do you think is the ROI, right? What's the ROI on Facebook users? Somebody put a little chat. It's infinite. It's infinite, guys. It's infinite. So when you guys go to these brands and you're like, hey, I'll give you a 4x return. What are you talking about, bro? What's a 4x? What's a 5x? You know, like gas costs 3x. So you making me 3x is really not making me any money. Inflation is killing us. So like, I don't need 5x. I don't even care about 10x, right? Even Hormozy understood it. Even though he's using 36x as a claim to sell us, I'm like, hey, I'm a better marketer. 36x returns is not even enough money, right? We need to become the Facebooks, the TikToks, the Google of this fucking online game. And that's what I want every one of you guys to understand, right? Own the user. Okay? Perfect. Let's go back. Understanding this, I mean, guys, like Facebook makes infinite return, guys. Like, I don't know if you guys understand this. Like, I've never touched on this. Is billions and billions of dollars, guys. Like, they make money out of thin air, right? They're magicians, right? Understanding this has taken me from struggling to make 100K a month earlier this year to making 100K in 72 hours, right? Like, guys, I remember when making 100K a year seemed like an impossible, like, I remember 100K felt like more money than making $1 million, right? Now, I don't even know if 10K a month is enough to even like buy water, right? But it's like, guys, like 100K is a lot of money, right? But I think it's this understanding of owning people's attention that has allowed me to scale this fast without really needing to spend much money on ads, right? Like, I mean, to be honest, we don't really spend money on ads. We've just recently started doing it because why? Because this is funny, right? This is also, I mean, I'm going to show you guys shortly, but like, I'm starting to spend money on ads because I realized this. I don't have enough attention. So why do I keep money in my bank account, a bunch of money, when I could instead own the user that Facebook is using to make infinite returns? I want to own a piece of what Facebook owns. Why do I have to settle for my YouTube subscribers? What's 5,000 people? What's 6,000 followers on Instagram? That's nothing, right? So I'm gonna start spending money on ads because I just need more attention, right? Understanding this allowed Iman to make millions of dollars in a few days without needing to spend millions on advertising because he already owns the attention, right? When Iman started selling his courses, right, I remember seeing his ads everywhere, right? But today he makes millions of dollars every day. I mean, I saw a few clients who were in his program. They said that before his digital renaissance, he went from like 6,000 students to like 10,000, right? If the average is 1.5K course sale, then that means that he made, he's gonna make like $6 million in like in like a month, in like 3 weeks, right? Which is pretty impressive. And everybody can hate on this guy as much as they want, but like he's fucking played the game, right? It's just that, one thing that I don't like about Iman is that he doesn't actually share his understanding of the game. He just likes to like, I know he talks about puppets or master puppets or whatever term he uses, but like he's probably one of the greatest puppets because he doesn't teach us the real truth of scaling companies. Why are you telling me how to make $5,000 a month when you can teach me how to make $1 million a weekend? You know what I mean? I mean, I still respect the guy because it's, bro, you can't hate on someone who's making millions of dollars at 22, 21. So, but like, I think he could do a better job at sharing his understanding of the world, right? Because I've never seen a billionaire who keeps his understanding of the world to himself. Billionaires will always want to share stuff, right? So I think Iman could be making way more if he actually shared more, right? But anyway, let's go back to this, right? Hormozi now owns the attention that he used to pay $1 for. So now he can make millions and probably billions without having to pay Facebook or Google, right? So now Hormozi can genuinely tap into the infinite returns. Oh, okay. I think I just found a new word. Infinite returns is what we should optimize for. Now I understand it better, right? Lemlist, SaaS founder, his name is Guillaume. Understanding this process allowed him to scale Lemlist to $10 million in sales in less than 3.5 years, right? Without needing to spend a dime on ads, right? He has a Facebook group. He owns the user, right? E-com brands, understanding this are doubling their lifetime value. I was doing a lot of research. So a lot of you guys, a lot of people might be like, hey, Serge, but you're not running an agency. Oh, Serge, you're not doing this. So what? That doesn't mean that I don't know more about you around running an agency than you ever could know, right? So I'm always doing a bunch of research. I'm always trying to figure out how this applies to all the verticals, right? This girl here, she built a $15 million brand, and she had a Facebook group of 16,000 people, right? And what she did, she sells bottle brands, right? So like she bottle products. So like she sells something like this. And you know what she did? She created a challenge for drinking water every day. In her Facebook group, she created a challenge for like 60 days, guys, where everyone who's buying her products would join that group, join that challenge. And then, you know what that did to her business? It increased her lifetime value by 46%. That means that if she was making $1 million a year, she started making $1 million and 400 grand, right? That's almost doubling, your revenue, right? All because of she made money without needing to buy for the eyeball, right? Another community, right? Obvi community. This is a brand. I follow one of the CMO. I forgot his name. Some of you guys may know him, but they have 58,000 people in this group. People who buy products. They make 10 posts a day, and these 10 posts a day, guess what they're done by who? By purchasers of their products, saying that, hey, I just bought this. Hey, I'm excited. Blah blah blah. What do you guys think happens when people in the same community as you are buying Porsches? How long will it be before you also start buying Porsches? It won't be long, right? Just like everyone here, if I say I want to make $10 million a year, like everyone here will want to eventually start making $10 million, right? It's like you use this, like these biases that we have as social creatures to scale your company, right? If I have my clients starting to do one thing, then everybody's going to want to do that thing, right? So what these guys have figured out is that, oh, by the way, if we can get the people who like our products to start talking about our products and sharing when they're buying them, then that will actually lead to more sales, because it's just, osmosis. People will start doing what other people are doing, right? Another case study is Alpha Lead, right? For those who know Christian Guzman, YouTuber turned brand owner, and he leveraged his YouTube audience and influencers and built an apparel brand, and now he's making 100 million a year, right? 100 million. Like I don't even think you guys realize it, but like, do you know how much work, how much ad spend it would take to make 100 million for an apparel brand? It's crazy. Or you can look at Gymshark, right? $1 billion revenue, or like 800 million, right? My thesis is essentially saying that the only way that everyone here is going to guarantee themselves success is to own the platform, to own the user, aka the audience, and own your fulfillment. Most importantly, everyone here is guaranteed to get rich for sure if they help other business owners realize this. And this is what I want you guys to take from this. This thing that I'm sharing with you guys is that you guys can go back to the fucking marketplace and sell this thesis, right? You guys can go back to the marketplace, okay? And let me try to go over these services so maybe you guys get it clear, right? You guys can go to a brand owner and be like, hey, why are you stuck selling a bunch of why are you stuck spending a bunch of ads, only losing money? The thing is only performing less and less over time. But why don't we spend money or get viral content creators, right, to create content for you, acquire the impressions for free, okay? Help you create a community on Facebook group, on Discord, have you own the traffic, and then we can sell you email, SMS, or we could just have other influencers leading to other offers, which is going to be like the thing that gets the people to take action, and then you can monetize. We're going to do this run a few times until you have, let's say, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 people in your community. And then you generally never need Facebook or TikTok anymore, ever. Because why? Because you are your own TikTok. You are your own Facebook ad. You own it, right? This works the same way. Let's say people who are, the reason why this short form content offer is so viral is because what it allows people to do is the following. It allows someone, an expert, to create content. The short form content offer is here to distribute, right? It's just solving for distribution, okay? What this does is that it helps acquire the views for free. It helps the person acquire the educated people, okay? And then another person could come here, right? A lot of our clients, the reason why they're selling so high ticket, the short form content, is because they're also letting people know that, hey, not only will we distribute your content and get you a bunch of views on your reels or your TikToks or whatever, but we're also going to leverage this mechanism of building a community so that we can create and help you own the asset. And then we're going to put setters and closers or help you with a little bit of advertising to retarget people, right? And monetize it, right? So that's where these offers are all coming into play. if you guys, of course, once you start monetizing, then you also need systems, right? I'm going to come back to this, right? But all these offers are all aligned with this thesis, okay? And that's what I'm going to cover next. This thesis allows us to notice trends of services that the market wants. In case you didn't know, leveraging trends is the way you make money. So much money that you won't even think life is real anymore, right? Like, a lot of you guys may not, maybe sometimes I don't even realize this, but like, guys, like 2 years ago in 2020, I was making like 28 grand a year, right? Like sometimes I don't even understand how have I generated $1 million in the less than 90 days? It doesn't. Sometimes it's like, of course, I can't necessarily get too caught up into the success, because then I'm going to start doing things wrong, right? But like, guys, it's $1 million going from 30K a year and 2 years later making $1 million in 90 days. Like, it's fucking insane, right? And that's only because I've understood these things that I'm sharing with you guys, right? So let's look at people who've noticed trends, right? Jeff Bezos read a report when he was 30 years old that a projected of 2.3, like 2,300% industry growth rate, and immediately left Wall Street. In 2021, Amazon averaged $1.3 billion a day. Elon Musk, 2002, exited PayPal, made like 186 million. And in 2004, invested $6 million. One of the first electric EV companies, right? Today, worth almost $500 billion. Another client who we leverage, helped add TikTok UGC offer is Amar. Came into our program, helped them launch TikTok ad in UGC, and 7 weeks later, they hit 60K per month. Not 7 months later. In 7 weeks, that means a month and 3 weeks, they scale to a company that makes almost 700 grand a year or more than that. Why? Not because there was some magical, like, oh, hey, Serge, oh my God, the $500,000 program is such an amazing thing. No, we fucking leverage trends, guys. A trend is everything. If Bezos had not leveraged this trend and stayed on Wall Street, I don't care how good he would have became, he would have never built a vehicle that makes $1 billion a day. Like, we should take a moment to really appreciate what he's done, guys. Just put $1.3 billion a day is insane, right? If they leverage these trends, guys, what are you guys waiting for to start selling something that people want? Everyone everyone who's successful or who's really, really successful has leveraged trends, okay? Now, let me walk you through some of the trendy services and mechanisms to sell in 2023. Anything that solves the huge demand of content and creators, right? So what ends up happening when this happens is when the first component to solve for is acquiring attention, well, people need the thing that they need to pay attention to, right? So how do you solve this? Well, that's where the short form content agencies come in. Not just the short form content though. The UGC and influencer niche is also popping off, or mechanism, right? Because they offer distribution. They offer the same distribution that these platforms make other people pay for, right? Or you can be also a paid advertising agency, but you're just spending money, people's money, right? Amar, Lashazar, Justin, just these 3 clients have added over $2 million in new annual revenue, recurring revenue, from leveraging TikTok and UGC as a claim in their cold outreach. $2 million, 3 businesses in less than 4 or 5 months, right? And Jirov, who's here, and I want to let him present something real quick, right? He went from 20K a month, like he went from zero, from nothing, to 20K a month in 5 weeks. And recently he shared his YouTube video where he had 20K in a single day, right? This client, Carrie, working a 9-to-5, joined the program. She had done a lot of things before. On the 8th of this month, they closed a client, paid in full for 3 months for 16 grand, right? They're also partnered up with other clients who are helping her with fulfillment since it doesn't have the fulfillment ready. $16,000, guys. all because they're solving what? For the distribution thing. Okay.